So, what do we have contained here?
SCP-096, Euclid class SCP, one of the deadliest we have contained at this facility.
Euclid class SCPs are those that require more resources to contain, or containment is unreliable, correct?
That's correct. Usually due to the SCP being sentient, unpredictable, or insufficiently understood.
I see. Why is it in a box there? Will we take a look at it?
Definitely not. This thing will bring hell on Earth if we were to take a look at its face.
How would you know?
I'm the former commander of Zulu 9A, the retrieval team that made first contact with SCP-096.
Captain, why don't you tell us about that experience?
You know what? Fine. Performing initial retrieval duty is awful. We have no idea what these things are capable of except for what little the field techies can scrape up. And you're lucky if they even tell you the whole truth. They told us to bag and tag. That's it. No warning about not looking at it. It was a cold morning. We'd spotted it in the mountains. Lucky for us, it wasn't facing our direction, which is why we didn't get taken out there and then. And when I say it was cold, I mean it was very cold. The SCP didn't seem bothered by it though. It was just sitting there. We landed and approached it, tried to capture it right then and there. I turned around to respond to a call done by the doctor overseeing the operation. By the time I could answer the call, it was over for my team. That call saved my life. If it wasn't for it, I'd have seen its face just like the rest of my squad. It started by screaming and crying at us. Not an animal-like roaring, no, but with some sort of twisted human voice. We started shooting, but it was useless. It tore off the corporal's leg like it was made of paper. I ordered the use of a rocket launcher on it. It seems to have done some damage. Emphasis on seemed. It didn't flinch and kept tearing away my squad. The amount of rounds fired into it must have been in the thousands. Again, completely useless.
Wow. How was the Foundation even able to contain it then?
It's not all that complicated for such a terrifying SCP. You just put a bag on its head and that's the end of it.
When it comes to containment, a steel box is all we really need. As long as no one sees its face, it won't be dangerous. However, should 096 ever breach into a population center, the loss of life would be unimaginable. 096 seems to have an innate sense of location of those who've seen its face, and once it's set on massacring someone, nothing in this world could hope to stop it.
Does that mean we have no idea of what its face actually looks like?
Sort of. SCP-096 does not react to people viewing an artistic depiction of its face. A recent experiment done by Dr. Dan has given us a general idea of what SCP-096 looks like. After making a Class D who was a former tattoo artist draw its face before inevitably being massacred.
So, what does it look like?
Gruesome. Around 2.5 meters tall. It's a humanoid SCP with grotesquely long arms and is overall very skinny. Its skin is white with a red hue on sporadic areas of its body. Finally, its face. It resembles that of a human skull with white eyes and a jaw that can open up to 4 times that of an average human's.
You've certainly piqued my curiosity, Dr. Wilson. What a shame we're not able to take a look at it. Anyways, what does the SCP Foundation do with it now?
To try and terminate it.
What? Why?
It's been deemed too dangerous by the O5 Council after, well, a certain incident. I told you earlier about the consequences of it getting into a population center, correct? What if images of 096 started being spread everywhere around the world by a malicious organization? Remember, nothing and this world can stop 096 when it knows someone has seen its face.
What's the progress on that?
Nothing. Research is still ongoing under Dr. Dan.
You've got to be joking.